Hi everyone, we're back with another video today, and this one is a new one for the channel. We're going to be looking at the Tomica Premium. We're going to be answering that question, are the Tomica Premiums really premium? So obviously by Takara Tomy. This is a very well-known Chinese diecast brand. Their regular lineup, or their main line, is very well known, very easy to get, and very affordable. This is the first time I've ever had a look at a Tomica Premium. I've ordered this one from China. I've been asked to review it. People wanting to know, like, are the Tomica cars actually really premium? And so, without actually having seen one myself, I thought this would be a great live demonstration. As you can see, it's totally unopened, and it's all still in its wrapping. So we're going to unwrap it and have a look. So the casting I chose to get was actually the Subaru BRZ. The reason for that is I actually drive a Toyota 86, and the Toyota 86 and the BRZ are the same car. It's the same engine, the same shape, and it's a great JDM car to drive. So I thought, what better to have actually a scaled down version of my own car. Albeit this paint job that we're going to look at with all these decals is completely different to actually my everyday drive. So without further ado, let's get stuck into it. Now, the one thing I do have to say about this is that when I first picked up the box, I was like, wow, that is a very small box. So they're certainly not taking up any extra space when it comes to additional packaging in here that you might see in, say, the miniGT range or from Kaito House either. As you can see, this is a Kaito House box, and that is a Tomica Premium box, and there's a miniGT box as well. So you can see that there's quite a significant difference between the boxes. So there we go. Look at that one. It's probably the biggest giveaway looking at it that way. miniGT compared to Kaito House, which is a much bigger box. So they make those slightly bigger, but yeah, the Tomica Premium is quite small. And so I thought, when we're assessing how premium this actually is going to be, and whether the Tomica Premium is, or do we consider a premium diecast, we're looking at the Yunus Roadster, or Mazda MX-5, funnily enough, from miniGT. So, and chose the miniGT MX-5 to look at or to compare it to, because this is also in real life a similarly sized car, and this particular casting is at scale. It is true to 1/64. I think the length of a Yunus Roadster or an MX-5 was 3,975 mils, and then this particular casting is 61 mil long. So you do the math, and you get out with 64. So we know that the Roadster is to scale. We know that it's quite small, and then this box, I'm assuming that it's actually going to be quite small. So the Toyota 86 or the BRZ is another 200 mil, so 20 centimeters longer than the MX-5. So it's quite a similar car, so it'll be good for comparison. So the first thing I've noticed, aside from how small the box is, there's actually quite a bit of weight to this box. So I figure that is actually a good sign. So let's take it out and have a look. This is the first look ever. So there's no plastic protection, it's just in a plastic wrap at a Tomica Premium. And so the first thing I'm going to say is I think the scale is way off here. Obviously this has a tremendous body kit to it. that is obviously going to add to the size of it, but it shouldn't really add that much to the length, which is what we're going to compare. Obviously there's a bit of skirting on the front bumper, so we'll try to take that into consideration. As a matter of fact, we might just measure from the nose rather than the skirt, and then all the way back to the tail, or just where the tail lights are. So trying to assess whether otherwise, before we get into measuring it, because that's obviously the first thing that I'm a bit concerned about after looking at that. And the build is a bit plasticky. There's a bit of a rattle, as you can hear that. And the miniGTs, they're not rattle free, don't get me wrong. There's a bit of a rattle there, but you can, like, that is night and day. Maybe we start looking into a rattle test with castings, how much it actually rattles, how loose it is. So trying to assess, like, what is, like, is this, because what are our criteria for a premium die cast? We like to say that it is a full metal casting. Obviously you can have a bit of plastic. We're looking for rubber wheels, and we're looking for additional detail and things like side mirrors, which we feel are important. And as we can see here straight off the bat, there are no side mirrors on this casting, so that's a little bit disappointing. When you are talking about the price point here of these castings, it's much different. The Tomica Premium is significantly cheaper in terms of what you would particularly or tend to pay. So the Tomica Premium you can get for about, well, this was about $5, and then a miniGT you're looking at $10 to $12. So there's quite a difference in obviously the pricing, but still, is it good enough? And if for someone to collect. I mean, the other thing that I see is this rear wing is just bent completely out of shape, and that's probably down to that there's no protective packaging in here. So I'm going to try and straighten that up, which I can a little bit. But yeah, that's just a bit disappointing, because I was looking forward to having this casting. I think I'm going to have to keep looking for another BRZ or a Toyota 86. I think this was going to be one that goes to the kids that they can play with, because yeah, I'm not too happy with the impression, my first impression here. In terms of other details, I mean, yeah, that rear wing is very disappointing. I'm going to have to stop looking at that. Yeah, the decals are nice. Obviously, we've got this label above this Subaru logo, which says proud of Boxer, which it's a Boxer engine in these, and in the Toyota 86 as well. As I said, the engine's the same. But the bodywork is quite nice. Don't get me wrong, the floor looks great. I do like the tail lights. The tail lights are accurate to the BRZ and the 86 itself, and the tail lights are the same on both cars. The undercarriage is a bit disappointing. It's completely smooth. There's no detail here. And if we're looking at the miniGT, and I would say this is a fairly basic miniGT in terms of where it comes to undercarriage detail, but you've got your exhaust, and then you've got a few of the exhaust lines and some of the visible suspension and other bits and pieces under the cars itself. Whereas this just sort of has nothing, which is, yeah, a little bit different and a bit disappointing. So look at the windshield and look inside the vehicle itself to see if there's any detail on the inside. It all looks fairly basic, probably similar to what you'd expect from a Hot Wheels on the inside. And obviously we'll give, because this is an R&D racing spec, we'll give it a pass on the back, whatever's going on here with the rear windshield. But yeah, look, I think it's a nice one. I think it's for kids, like younger kids rather than collectors. And that, I think what we might end up doing is just cut off this rear wing altogether and just have it, and we'll just patch up obviously what's left over and then just have that as the car. But I do think this one is going straight to the kids, to play with. It just does not stand up next to the miniGT at all. And then just with playability of it, how well does the casting roll along the table? It's a simple little test that we try and grade each car for. The miniGT rolls very nicely and quite well. There's a bit of a rattle as we had before, and it certainly rolls, but I think it comes down to the quality of the build itself. Then these tyres, which is the other disappointing factor, these are actually plastic. So really, to answer the question, is Tomica Premium? I think when it comes to comparing it to the Tomica mainline, yes, it's definitely premium. There's a lot of detail here, but when it comes to what we call premium diecast, it is missing some significant detail in the casting itself, and obviously the wheels being plastic isn't great, and I believe the bottom is all plastic as well. So there's only one part of it is a metallic casting. So to measure this, let's just see, just to find out how off scale we are. You got this coming in at 73 mil, let's call it, and so that's just the tip of the nose to the rear, not including the body kit, just so we can get that accurate. And so yeah, we're looking at a 58:1 scale, so that's why it's so big. That's why a car which should only be 20 centimeters longer than the Roadster or the MX-5 is much larger in casting. So I think it's fair to sum up that if you're looking for premium die cast, do not buy this casting. Tomica Premium, yeah, they're quite nice to have, sure, whatever, but I think they're more play toys for the kids. It would be interesting to put this down the track and just see how it performs against other castings. So I think we'll definitely do that in a future video. We'll give that a go because I think that's probably where this will come into play as good casting. But yeah, all in all, I would say that Tomica Premium is not a premium diecast car. You got to stick with your miniGTs, your Tarmac Works, even your Hot Wheels Premium, much more premium than this. But a big part of that does come down to costing as well. But I think for a few extra dollars, you are better off spending your money if you're a collector on a true premium diecast rather than a Tomica, which I think is nice to play with, but not necessarily a great casting to have. And with the scale being so far off, I know Hot Wheels Premiums aren't to scale either, and that's a big gripe that I have with them. But yeah, I think you're better off with your miniGTs, your Tarmac Works, your Inno 64s. All right, let us know what you guys think. Am I totally wrong? Do you guys love Tomica Premiums? Please let me know. Put it in the comments, like, subscribe, let us know. And happy to do more content like this. Cheers.